everyone, and let's discuss the breaking news of Temuera Morrison speaking up about not receiving a call to appear in Mandalorian season 3, among other things here. So I did see this, and it was given to me or brought to my attention on social media, and I thought I'd bring this to your guys' attention and would love to know what you guys think about this after we go over this article and what he had to say. If you are new to the channel, please like, subscribe, share, or even become a channel member as well. And thank you for your continued support. So let's get into this article right here, what Temuera has to say regarding him not being premiered or having a cameo in season 3. So basically, it was rumored that he was to appear in season 3 of The Mandalorian. I myself never really heard of that rumor, and I wasn't expecting to even think that he was going to be in there. And from the reviews that I've watched, there was no appearance of him. But he has a lot to say when he was at the Supernova Comic Con gaming convention in Melbourne, Australia. So he was asked if he was supposed to have a cameo appearance in The Mandalorian season 3. And this is what he had to say in that interview, or in that question response. I was supposed to be in Mandalorian season 3, but nobody rang me. I was waiting for the phone call in New Zealand, waiting and wanting to give up. So that's what he had to say about that. And of course, we all know that he did not appear in that in the series or in the show season 3. And we did know that he did make a cameo in The Mandalorian before. We also know that Din Djarin, the Mandalorian, did make a cameo in the Book of Boba Fett 4, 5, 6, and 7. So those episodes, and which really set up the Mandalorian from there. And so he has a lot to say about that. So let's get into more of what he has to say. So while Morrison didn't reveal if he was hinted or discussed as possible cameo appearance in the Mandalorian third season, he jokingly commented on how Din Djarin took over his show. So this is what he jokingly, so this is what they said, he jokingly, but this doesn't sound like a joke. It sounds more of a bitter take of, like, he shadowed my appearance. I was put in the background, foreground because of him, kind of deal. And like I said, we all know that Favreau, Filoni, the two top showrunners of these series, they basically, use cameos to set up other shows. And we've seen that. We had Ahsoka appear in The Mandalorian as well. And just to kind of segue into the coming show, Ahsoka and such, and this is what they're good at right here. Well, that Mando guy stole a few chapters of my book. So again, they said he's joking here. It was painful watching him turn up with some black new lethal sword. And the way he turned up in my Book of Boba, he just destroyed everybody. I'm sure this guy is ruining my show, but I couldn't say anything. I'm not the writer, so I have to bear it, I guess. So he goes back, and at this last ending phrase or sentence here is telling. So he does feel like, or sound like, he was kind of bitter about that situation, about having the Mandalorian in 4 of the episodes of the Book of Boba Fett. And he really couldn't speak up. He's not the writer. And so this goes back, well, who are the writers during that time? Basically, let's go back to the showrunners. It goes back to Favreau and Filoni, basically. And it was their initial decision on making these cameos come in. And we know that they're really good with these cameos. Luke, Ahsoka, Lizzo, Jack Black. And their characters, I don't know what their characters are named. And so we know that they're really big with these cameos, right? And but when you have someone crossing over and taking the protagonist's spot, it does probably leave one with a bitter feeling. And that's what I get here. And what I'm going to say here, whether you disagree with me or not, is that Disney Lucasfilm is good at pushing the legacy characters aside. And Boba Fett is a legacy character. He's George's character. They're good at pushing those characters aside to expand and grow on their characters. And what I mean by their characters is the brand new characters that they create themselves, or those that are carried through from Rebels and all such. So like Ahsoka, even though she came from TCW, the Clone Wars, she is also, brought in, and she is now considered their character. And that's why she's getting a show. And so he goes on to say some more information here that's a bit revealing. Now, mind you, the Book of Boba Fett, um, premiered in 2021, I believe. And then the Mandalorian season 3 was began filming around that time frame, not the same exact like months, but around that time frame. So this is what he has to say about Disney, talking about cutbacks and reorganizations and such. I think there's a few changes going on. We also come under the big umbrella known as Disney. So yeah, we all know Disney owns Lucasfilm and other franchises now too. So it's one of the last few conversations we had in LA. So this is when he was here in the States. The conversation started like, oh, look, we're having a few changes. We're having a few cutbacks. And when you hear that, and at the other end of the line, it's no good trying to negotiate any more money. That's for sure. So we'll see what happens. So this is in just regards to him, coming out with in other shows, or making a cameo in another show or what have you. Now, this is back during the pandemic, and this is back during when he was, filming and possibly hoping to get another gig. And they're like, oh, we're cutting back all of this. We know that a lot of companies restructured, and Disney is one of them. And now we're seeing, that they are doing layoffs right now. So, but my point I'm getting to is like, if he thinks that now he's not going to be used anymore because they're having cutbacks and such, well, think about it. They brought in Jack Black and Lizzo to make cameos. So if they're really cutting back, then I don't know where the priorities are, because I bet you that they were paid a lot just to make those cameos because they are, big stars. But then we have Temuera Morrison saying, okay, well, I'm not going to try to negotiate nothing like this because, I'm told that there's going to be cutbacks and what have you. But then we have those cameos. Now, this goes back to my point of the legacy characters being shoved out for newer characters, and for even characters that they think that's gonna be bring casual fans in to clap and get excited for. So they're looking at the dollar sign. So bringing Lizzo and Jack Black in, they probably felt that they were going to get money. They were going to get more money because of these cameos, because everybody's going to want to watch these guys come in and, come in as, newer characters, even though they probably will never see them again. And it's all about dollar signs and what characters they feel that are going to be worth their time, dollar sign wise. Now, will Boba Fett, could he bring in the dollars? I don't know, because they really destroyed his character on how he was created in the original lore. So there's no way that he is now the same character, not in the Disney Star Wars lore. So what do you guys think about this? And what do you think about the Civil War? With the decisions that the showrunners decided, like Favreau and Filoni, on not having him in Mandalorian season 3, that's solely their decision. It's solely the writer's decision. This doesn't mean that Kennedy was in there, sabotaging the show. All this means that this is decisions made by the showrunners to not have him in season 3. So let me know what you guys think below. Please leave a like, subscribe, and share. And I shall talk to you later. And one more thing, every Thursday morning, 9 a.m., is Calf Chat. So catch me there, where we're going to talk Star Wars lore, go over different aspects of Star Wars, as well as cringe factor. So come over, have a cup of coffee with me, and let's chat Star Wars. You guys have a great day, and may the Force be with you.